If you're a matcha lover and you're visiting Japan, you're not going to want to miss out on some of the best cafes where you can experience matcha in a traditional and modern setting. We're going to start this adventure off really nice and strong in Tokyo. Let's get to it. If you're looking for an authentic matcha experience in Tokyo, I would recommend coming to Matsubayasaryo. It's located in a very chic part of Tokyo. It's Aoyama, where all the fancy designer stores, boutiques are, and it's situated on a main street, but what stands out is the storefront. It is so stunning, and it has like a shrine entryway display as well as a huge bonsai, because the decor here is all bonsai themed, which I like because bonsai is green, matcha is green. That combination doesn't get any better, and I have been itching to come here for the longest time, so today it's my excuse to get out and have some matcha. And the menu is very big. There are so many choices. You can have like a traditional tea ceremony style thing, or you can just get a matcha latte, a hot latte, sake, as well as sweets. But today I am going for just the iced matcha latte, which is the most expensive, I think, probably out of everywhere I'm going to go. And the thing that I'm noticing, the way they present it here is, look at this glass. It's so elegant. And you can probably hear there's some piano music playing even though I'm sitting outside. It's a very soothing, calm experience. And there's a bit of like foam, like crema on the top, which I've never seen on a matcha latte quite like that. And I'm noticing there's no straw either, because usually when you get a matcha latte, you sip for a straw. So that's a different experience altogether. Okay, let's give it a go. This matcha is so smooth and well blended. That is my first impressions. Like, it's not overly bitter and it's still sweet. The consistency of it is just perfect. It's such a premium experience drinking out of such a fancy glass. The type of cutlery as well as tableware matters so much, and I love that Japan and restaurants here, cafes, they all put so much emphasis on the whole experience, and that's part of this cafe's concept because it's a gallery inside. We've got the bonsai that we can admire, and there are quite a few bonsai just throughout this little space. I got one in front of me, my own private bonsai. By the way, if you didn't know, bonsais are really expensive. This is probably like a few $1,000s. And then we have a huge other bonsai which looks like a Christmas tree. They have them in Kanazawa. It's one of the most pretty ways to display a bonsai in my opinion. And then there's another bonsai, so you get a whole private bonsai experience. It's time to try my little premium tiramisu. Oh. The layer of matcha on top looks so good. Oh my god. This is a real treat. I never get tiramisu. Oh, that's really tasty. The cream is so light. It almost is like as if it didn't even go in my mouth. I need to eat more. It's like, did I even have any? And the matcha powder kind of like sticks to the roof of my mouth. This is probably the best matcha tiramisu I've ever had. I think I've probably had it like once before. It feels like I'm eating a cloud. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is how light the tiramisu cream is. I don't drink alcohol. I just need matcha alcohol. I think they do have matcha like cocktails in here. Oh. I think if I ever get the chance to come back here and I want to spend a little bit extra, I would do the tea ceremony. It was about just short of 3,000 yen. So it's a little on the pricier side, but honestly for a tea ceremony, if you've never done it before, it's not like the whole experience, but you get to have them make it in front of you and you have the highest grade. It's not too bad, I think. If you're coming to Tokyo and you want to try matcha, you've probably heard of the organic matcha store. It is probably the most popular. It's synonymous with matcha here, and yes, it is a good place to get your matcha. I think it's pretty decent. I think it just does the job. It's very busy though. If you come to Harajuku Omotesando, the main store, it's beautiful. It's a white building, but it is so crowded. They do have a huge menu with all kinds of dietary options, soy milk, I think they have almond milk, they even have like lemon, they have coffee, they have desserts. But today I wanted to just get like a classic matcha with milk. It's an iced one, and you can see the color of the matcha is very nice. It's the deep green, which is what we want to look for when we have matcha. And they make it in front of you, but it was so busy in there. I think I waited like 20 minutes to get this, and it wasn't even a long line. It was just a customer buying the whole shop in front of us. Anyway, enough talk. I want to give this a go. It's a really rich matcha taste. I feel like each time I get it from them, it tastes slightly different. My go-to is usually hojicha, which is my absolute favorite, but today it's all about the green powder, matcha. And this is organic, as it says in the name, so you can rest assured it's good. I feel like they're probably using matcha from Kyoto, as most places are. There's different grades as well, so if you want to spend a bit more, you can have just like the highest grade possible, which is a good thing about their menu. There's so many different options, and for this I think it was about 700 yen, so it's pretty reasonably priced. It's not too expensive. And of course, like a benefit of going to the Matcha Tokyo is that it's takeaway, or you can sit in there if you can get a seat. I decided it was a bit hectic for me, so I'm out on the streets of Cat Street here in Harajuku, and I grabbed a cookie because they have a huge like dessert snack menu. And last time I got a dorayaki, which is like a Japanese pancake with red bean in the middle, but then they had matcha cookies. Oh, look at that. And I got one of the last few. It is late in the day, but I saw them running out and I was like, I need to try it. So, itadakimasu. I really like this cookie. It's got good texture to it, like a little bit of like chewy texture, but not like melt in your mouth chewy. Almost like an Anzac biscuit. I know that's really random. If you don't know, that's like an Australian type of biscuit with like oats. Kind of tastes oaty to me, and they've got some cranberries inside. Because matcha is so bitter, it complements the bitterness with that sweet, fruity flavor. In Kyoto, one of the most popular matcha spots is actually a place called Hatoya Ryoyousha, and they have their main location in Arashiyama, which I haven't been able to go to, but luckily there's a new place that opened in October of last year in Kiyomizudera area near Higashiyama, and look at it, it looks beautiful. So this is a matcha latte, which is my preferred way probably on like a daily basis to drink matcha, and this place is so popular on social media, so that's how I found out about it. But all the other places I'm going to in Kyoto, they also really recommend it. And just look at this. This color is just beautiful. Like, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, this is so delicious. Meccha oishii. Oh, this is a really refreshing matcha. I want this like first thing in the morning. That's really funny. In here, they have the beautiful ambience, and they've got like the teapot, and when they brew the tea, it's amazing. But they were playing Sabrina Carpenter before, and it's such like a juxtaposition. It was like, I think it was Please, Please, Please. Anyway, I digress. And they also have a few desserts on the menu. I can see they have like cakes as well as like dango with matcha. So there's a lot of different options here, but I'm just so happy with this. So the good thing about this place is you can also get takeaway. So if you're on the go or you just want to sightsee and have some matcha, you can totally do that here as well. Oh yeah, and I learned something cool from the staff here. So the kanji for this like shop, I think it means like good leaves this unit. Happa, like a yoi happa. Yeah, so that's kind of like where the name came from. And this place has like a different name to the other one on Google Maps. Like I was a little confused at first, but there's a whole meaning behind it. 8108 is like the numbers in the name. So it all kind of connects. I've stumbled across a hidden gem for matcha and tea lovers. This place is called 70 Plus, and it's on a small side street near Shijo area in Kyoto. And the moment you walk in, it's just like a tiny little place, and they have all these like teas set on the table where you can smell them. And they have all kinds of tea from, I think, like around Asia, but I'm here for matcha, of course. And this looks like some really premium stuff. It was 1,200 yen for this iced oat milk matcha. It's the original blend. And apparently with all the matcha lattes, they only use oat milk from Italy. It's like premium oat milk. And the reason for that is because the owner just wanted everyone to be able to enjoy matcha, which is really nice. Itadakimasu. Ooh, this is actually my first time having a matcha latte with just oat milk. I usually have it with milk, almond milk, or just pure matcha. It's actually really sweet, very smooth, and very strong, very, very strong matcha. I definitely feel like I'd want this first thing in the morning to like give me a kick to wake up. Wow, I didn't expect it to be this smooth. And it's interesting because this particular place, their process of making matcha is a little unique because they don't use water at all. So it's purely the oat milk. They use to blend it, and there's like a few stages, which I've never seen anywhere else before. Oishii. Oishii desu. So on the menu, they've got different matcha latte options, and the price ranges. Like this one is the most expensive one, but I figured for the first time I need to try this. And they have some that are only 600 yen, and they have different levels of like flavor, like lightly roasted, mellow, creamy, aromatic. So I definitely want to come back and try a few more. And I'm also curious about the hojicha latte. They also have like different teas that they're using, like Kyoto Bancha, which I've never had, I don't think. So yeah, Taiwanese, white tea, very cool. And you can get takeaway, which is like something that not a lot of places might do. And I had a friend actually who's like, I don't like having matcha in Japan because you have to sit down and experience it, which I love personally, the whole peacefulness and mindfulness of it. But if you just want to have the Western style of just like taking it and going, you can do that here. Also, they've given me like syrup to add. And this is also like looking like some high quality syrup. It's not just like random sugar. So if you like to have a sweet matcha, you can do that as well. And they've got a bunch of like tea you can buy as souvenirs or just to drink at home, as well as matcha with lechasen. This tea shop's only been around for about 3 years, but it's already really, really popular. I can see why. And they kind of focus on the flavor so much that even when they're whisking it, it's in like a pot, like a cooking pot, which I thought was really interesting. That aspect of the process is just different, which I think makes them stand out. So if you want to have a bit of a unique and intimate matcha experience, but it's also still casual because you can sit here and chat and talk to the stuff, I'd recommend popping by. Also, one thing I want to show you is, like, look at the packaging. It's like a little Chinese takeaway box. This is so cute. I've never seen that before.
I couldn't leave without trying one of their other teas, and it was my first time giving the bancha tea leaves a go, which had a very smoky flavour. I highly enjoyed it, so if you have the opportunity to, come visit this shop out. Alright, on to the next location.
One of the most popular matcha spots in all of Kyoto is a place called Yugen, and it's been around for a while. When I used to live here, it had like a little cafe stand where you could get takeout matcha lattes and hojicha, but now it is actually a really beautiful environment here in downtown Kyoto where you can experience traditional matcha and be in a really peaceful environment. This is my first time because it's not a takeaway place. You have to sit down and enjoy the atmosphere, and I had to, of course, go for a classic matcha set where I've got some delicious uji matcha with a pairing of like wagashi, and it's my first time getting this because it's seasonal and I've never heard of it before. It's called tsubaki mochi. Look at this, the presentation is amazing. I've never seen anything quite like it. And the unique thing about this environment and this experience is that you get to sit down and then you choose your favorite matcha bowl and it'll be served to you. And I asked the lovely staff's recommendation, and apparently this bowl here is very Kyoto-like. I think the one that I was gravitating towards, he was like, that's not probably the best one. And I was like, okay, I'll go with your recommendation. Anyway, I am going to take my first sip of matcha. Ooh, that tastes amazing. I think that might be the best matcha I've had so far out of all the places. This is amazing. The thing about matcha is it's not supposed to be too bitter. It's meant to be like balanced, and this is really easy to drink. The way he like presented it and prepared the matcha was also so elegant. I've got to try some of the wagashi now as well. So this is a traditional red bean dessert, and it's like coated in something. This is delicious. これって柚子入ってますか？
これ柚子入ってます。
ですよね。なんか柚子餅知ってますか？京都の有名のあれにちょっと似てます。And the staff are really friendly. So you speak English as well? A little bit. I feel like a lot of tea places are a little intimidating to come into, but it's a really welcoming environment, so can recommend. よかったです。And the froth of this matcha is like perfect. すごい。
はじめまして、有限の村上蓮太郎と申します。おっす。
どうして抹茶？
どうして抹茶？もともとおばあちゃんが宇治に住んでて、そこからお抹茶のことを知ったんですけど、もともと 僕嫌いだったんですよね、お抹茶。苦い5歳から飲まされてっていう感じだったんですけど、高校生の時にこういう美味しい抹茶に出会って、ちょっと待って、抹茶美味しいそっからダダハマり。まあずっとラグビーしてたんで、大学までラグビーして、で就職して、でもちょっとお茶忘れられへんなってなって雇ってもらいました全てうちで作ってて、うちのお茶に合うお菓子を出してるんですけど、お茶もオーナーが直接農家に行って取り寄せて使ってるお茶なんで、やっぱり最高級のお茶を提供してもらうっていうのが、うちの強みかなと思います。めっちゃ美味しいんで
I couldn't resist the opportunity to try one of their other teas, so I opted for a hojicha. It was very smoky, incredibly delicious. It came with a wagashi as well. And upstairs they even have a little gallery space where you can purchase items or just enjoy the environment. And if you want to find another spot in Kyoto, I have one that will be only on my Patreon, so check it out. I'll also be doing a Kyoto tea haul there as well. Otherwise, on to the next location.
Right around the corner from Yugen is actually a coffee shop that I frequent a lot. It's called Kurasu, and they do one of the best matcha lattes, and they're using the matcha powder from Yugen. And it's served in this really beautiful ceramic cup. This was 1,000 yen. It's the ceremonial grade matcha, so there's no sugar in it, but they have a cheaper option which has sugar as well as hojicha. It's really warm. It's really cold outside, so this is perfect. The great thing about not having sugar is you can actually taste the matcha flavors, whereas when they put sugar in, it kind of like dilutes it, but this is just like pure matcha and milk. It's really creamy and smooth. I think the way that matcha is like prepared and served makes such a big difference in like the experience. So like this little cup, it's very different from the other cafes I've been to. Like they have the bowl, but this feels like a nice experience in itself. I like it. And this is a really cozy little environment, and they've got a view of the street, so it feels very Kyoto-like. You can get takeaway if you want to. So yeah, if you have time to sit and relax and enjoy the ambience, you can do that, or just get one to go. Also, you can see behind me, they're selling a lot of different things on this shelf. And I buy my matcha powder as well as hojicha powder here regularly, as well as coffee beans, because they're all really tasty. And I think they're within a reasonable price range. They have the funniest thing though, they started selling hojicha powder in like, I don't think it was 1 kilogram. And I'm like, it's like protein powder at that stage, like giant bags. So I thought that was really amusing. I'm very tempted to get the matcha bowl because it looks so beautiful. I'm very, very tempted, but you know when you don't need it, but you want it, that's where I'm at. Since I'm not in Kyoto all the time, I usually end up getting 2 drinks when I come here, and I got my hojicha latte. No one can stop me. I'm a tea fiend. And this one's prepared with like a syrup, so it's a little sweet and it's not overpoweringly sweet. So that's the most important thing when you have like a matcha or hojicha or tea latte. I think it can't just be like a sugar hit. It needs to be balanced, and they've nailed it with this recipe. One of my favorite recommendations for matcha in Kyoto is a place actually located inside of the old imperial palace called Gosho. And so I'm at SASAYAIORI, and I've been here a few times actually, and they do really good matcha as well as matcha sweets, desserts, snacks, the whole shebang. And the great thing about this place is, like I said, it's in the Imperial Palace, so we have a beautiful garden, and during the cherry blossom season there's a weeping cherry blossom tree, and now it is autumn, so I've got lots of red maple leaves around, and the ambience of this cafe is so beautiful. It's very wabi-sabi. We have one of those circular holes through one of the walls, and it gives that really nice Japanese aesthetic. And so today I've got myself a matcha wagashi set. So this is just like a classic matcha, the authentic one where they whisk it, as well as a wagashi, which is a sweet treat that goes with the matcha, and inside I think is so this was 1,350 yen, so not too bad, a little pricey, but it should be good quality. This is a really nice matcha. Okay, time to slice up this bad boy. They couldn't tell me which an is inside, so it's a surprise. It's either white or red, and I think it's gonna be white. There we go. And this is definitely the smooth unpaste, because sometimes they have ones where the bean is not 100% smoothed out. So it's like tsubutsubu, which is like, I don't know how to describe the onomatopoeia in English, but like not crunchy, but like beany. And the thing is, you should definitely get matcha or a bitter thing to pair with the sweets, because otherwise this is just too sweet on its own. The leaves are so pretty. I love the open glass window. It's so nice. And if you can't make it to Kyoto, don't worry, because inside of another park in Tokyo, Shinjuku Gyoen, they have a location as well. I think the menu is a bit different because this place caters to the Kyoto local cuisine, which is, you know, very traditional wagashi parfaits, but it's still really good in Tokyo as well. I've come to a really cool tea house in downtown Osaka in Shinsaibashi. It's called WAD, W-A-D, and they specialize in Japanese green tea as well as sweets. And I went for hojicha, which is my favorite type of Japanese green tea. And it's like so elaborate the way they present it to you. Pour it yourself. And then I also got myself a dessert, zenzai, because it's winter here and this is the perfect thing to warm up with. And it looks so delicious. There's like charred mochi on top. This is so tasty, oishii. Hojicha is so tasty, and there's like a lot of sides. Here we've got like dried fruit, and if you want to add sugar, it's inside here. Also, this place has a gallery, and I think they focus on pottery, so all of the tableware is just so gorgeous. I love that there's little genmai, so roasted rice that I'm gonna pour on top. I love genmai cha as well. Really good zenzai. Like sometimes it's too sweet, but this is like the perfect level of sweet. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised. There's a generous amount of hojicha latte in here. It is 1,200 yen, so it's not cheap, but it's probably one of the best hojicha lattes I've ever had. It's really thick. Like the way you can tell the tea leaves are just really high grade. It's like creamy. So this place is actually really unassuming. Like you would totally walk past it. It's only because I looked it up. It's up a flight of stairs in like a normal looking building, but then when you come inside, it's just like tucked away and it's very peaceful. Like I read online or like somewhere that it was like silent, but there are definitely people having conversations and the staff are very friendly, talkative. So you can just come in here and relax and have some peaceful, quiet time, especially considering we're very close to like Number. It's crazy that these spaces exist. It's amazing. But if you do come here, keep in mind that it's very popular. When I came, I had to wait an hour. I wrote down my name, put my phone number, and then they called me. So at least you don't have to stand in a line. But you might be better off coming first thing in the morning if you don't want to line up. Everything has tasted so amazing here. I couldn't leave without getting the classic matcha, and I picked the blue cup. Oh, it's so stunning. I watched her make the matcha, and it's such a fun process to watch and admire because my matcha whisking skills are nowhere up to standard. Yeah, my matcha at home doesn't taste as good. This is so yummy.
Those were my matcha recommendations here in Japan. Let me know which one was your favorite. See you guys next time. Bye!